topic immediately. Okay. There's no MySQL anymore. No MySQL. There's only Sphinx. What is Sphinx? Sphinx is basically daemon written in C++. It can work with a MySQL, with a PostgreSQL, with a MySQL, whatever. It can grab data via the XML pipe. What it does? It does search. Full text search, whatever search you'd like to have on your website. There is several services that can be built on the top of the Sphinx, which is auto-completion, typo correction service, whatever you like to have on the website. There is. Do you code? You know how to code the faceted search when there is like in the booking column. Where is the booking column? I still have to book my hotel for today. There's a booking column. Yeah, here it is. So there's a star rating. There is a filter by price. There is a hotel type. There's a whole lot of stuff. With the Sphinx, it can be built with one actual query. So you still have to. There's several queries. You can shoot at once, but inside the Sphinx, it will be the one query. So it will be 5 times faster than on MySQL side. So, what it was? Let me be quick because it's supposed to be like 40 minutes talk. They had right now they have one stable branch, which is 2.0. They have the public beta, and they have development trunk basically. What's the difference? Andrew is paranoid as I don't know who, so it will not call a version stable unless it will be several years in production. It's not like MySQL. Like okay, it's a 5.6. Let's go forward, which is good, but still okay. So there's tons of new features. Basically, my favorite is it's a high availability and load balancing. Right now it's public. It's documented. So it's nice. It's kind of insane, but it's documented. It's always for Sphinx. It's always okay. Development team is far ahead, and the documentation. Okay, we just documented what we did 2 years ago. Nice. Finally they catch up, which is good too. Right now it's supporting JSON out of the box. It has much better profiling tools, and performance constantly increasing. Because when Andrew sees something that's kind of slow, it has no chance to survive. So the search quality, they introduce new ranking formulas. They introduce new signals from the document up to the user side, which was kind of it's brand new. That right now you can use lot more stuff with your own rankers, and they integrated Arabic stammer, and you actually, besides the Arabic stammer, you can use Leaf stammer right now. With it was in the older versions, but for some of you who didn't notice that, you can use any language stammer with pretty much. So you can search with pretty much languages. Regex filters are crazy, what they in place, and this is some really complicated stuff about ranking formula. Let me skip it. So yeah, packet factors. You can do any complicated formulas on yourself, and you can run subqueries right now in Sphinx, which is interesting. So if you'd like to just to stabilize search results, Sphinx is going to be like one of the top quality search text search engines. Because, well, it will be. So there's subsets, there's a lematizer. And the Lematizer is a bright and shiny new feature. It's a completely new stuff, which can give you ability to search in a natural language. As like you can create lemmas like most common or all of them, and it still will be different. Word forms.
Is there some public list of how to do this? Is there some?
I don't really know. I don't really know. I think there is some, and you can always talk to Andrew about it. He will be happy to tell you. And there is increased morphology quality. The word breaker. So how do you? So if you have URL, you can break into the words, and if you have some kind of complicated stuff, Sphinx will choose the right one. I mean, which will be more frequently used. How would you break expert exchange into words? How many words? 2 or 3? Yeah. So, and there is a utility for that. And the general summary is quality going up very highly, because they were focused on that stuff. So besides what Sphinx had with the query language, do you know how what the Sphinx query language is? I'll show you later if you're interested. It's really interesting. And now here's my favorite part. The thing I was working with Andrew to do initial draft, how it should work, and finally he made it much better than we can expect it. So right now it's besides the round robin and failover, it's a weighted round robin plus Sphinx agent will report every load on the machine to the proxy. So it will balance request depends on the query time and the machine load. That's awesome. I just use Sphinx, so I'm really happy. So it's published in 2.0 and in new bright and shiny Sphinx 2.1. There is even more complicated stuff. So the thing, as Andrew highlighted here, the goal is to have consistent performance, even if you have like insane huge cluster. So this is how it works. There is persistent connections besides general agent, which sends a connection every time. It creates connection every time it needs to query remote nodes. And there is so-called HA period karma, which is kind of right now exposed to the public, but later it might be hidden behind the Sphinx. I will publish those slides as well, if you like.
Please, yeah.
So, and there is show agent status, which is awesome to have in terms of operation stuff. So you will know what's alive and which is dead, if you don't have money on it, of course. And there is it's always a question. What do you like to use, HA proxy or Sphinx? Or basically HA proxy does not care about the load on the nodes. So if you use Sphinx, do you use Sphinx? So, and here's JSON. What's about JSON? It's now supported out of the box. You can create it on the fly. You can execution plan for the query. You can see query profile. You can see CPU stats. Well, actually, CPU and I/O stats wasn't shown at a little bit before. I think it's improved right now. And that's what we mean on the show profile. This is actually actual calls inside the Sphinx. And here's the thing: switches is not a number of calls; it's a number of iteration within call. So if you have to rank 3,000 documents, it will be. I'm not sure about the details, but you can see the duration, and you can see a number of calls. I'm not sure about how ranking works right now, so I will not lie to you. So show profile is like this, and show plan is actually how Sphinx will be performing this query. So it's like written in Sphinx internal format. How to translate to the internal calls. Now, speaking about performance, with what was a year ago and what we have now, it's I can't tell you, I don't know the exact numbers, but peak time will be much faster, peak performance. And average performance is going up as well. So, just like I said, and we're constantly looking around what is slow, what is not optimal, and improving. Seamless upgrades. I don't know this stuff. Tokenizer, faster. Okay. Oh, here we go. There's a new bright and shiny stuff I didn't work with yet. This is related to the network operation, I think. I don't know this, but it will be interesting to know. Oh yeah, new stuff for this. So GeoPolygons right now is public, so you can do geographic search not only based on the distance, which was for a long time, but based on the GeoPolygons, more complicated stuff I didn't work with yet. So
is this 2.2 or 2.1?
2.1 for sure. Okay. Questions should go to this email, but I will try to answer as well. Dead silence.
Anybody use Sphinx here?
Okay,
That's why you don't have many questions.
Do you want me to show you what the Sphinx is about?
Yeah, it's still a little unclear
That'd be good.
what you do.
If you have, for some of you who don't have time, just to leave it all at any inconvenience, but I will hate you. I think it is.
Sorry, so you're running on DOS or anything? You're running on DOS? This is so funny.
Yeah, that's the type of queries that runs on MySQL. They're very slow, so they can be moved to Sphinx. Like ordered by rand. Sphinx can do ordered by rand, by the way. It was not on the slides, but it's still. So you can then utilize all the Sphinx power to calculate random function. Yeah. So making full text search on the MySQL side is just like this, hitting nails with a microscope. Well, if you have a really old microscope, you can still do that. And the Sphinx is just like a hammer, actually. So what is Sphinx? Okay, here we go. This is a full text search language that Sphinx supports. Besides the full text, there is you can use the same stuff as for MySQL, but there's a quorum, there is a per field search, there is a per field weighting, there is a per index weighting, lots of stuff. And the difference between Sphinx and MySQL for full text search is speed. It's really faster because it's designed to handle full text search better.
Yeah, looks like a nice speed up there.
Yeah. Like 100 times. And you can connect to the Sphinx using MySQL client. You don't need to have MySQL server. You can just use MySQL client.
There have been improvements in the PHP client library.
I think
I used it in 2.0.
It should follow the changes in the main in the trunk. But basically, I would suggest.
I turned on the warnings and got a lot of warnings. So
Yeah, well, the thing is that if you can have SphinxSQL, what's the point to use PHP API? But still, sometimes it's convenient, especially if you have forms. It's better to create it.
So you still have to define like schema and that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, in the config, I will show you. So that's the difference, and that's basically request to the Sphinx. There's some difference. There's magic fields, and for each row you need to have, for each document, as Sphinx guys call it, you need to have unique integer ID. But still, it's pretty much the same. This is geodistance support. You can have a range support. Did you saw that booking column page? It's like ranges, price ranges, and stars. You can utilize it. Do you know Craigslist?
yes, I think everybody says yes.
Yeah. They run Sphinx search. And there's the services you can run, the spell correction, auto-completion. Related search is very useful. You can Sphinx can create excerpts for you, that tiny pieces of text with the highlighted keywords. And to install it, you just need to get to the Sphinx website to download it. And application architecture would be as follows. For every Sphinx instance, you need to have Sphinx is not data storage. It's a search machine. So you need to pull data from somewhere, put it to the Sphinx, and then search. So basically, it looks like this. There's a Sphinx index. This is a daemon. You're doing indexes. You're doing indexing, getting data to the Sphinx side, and then daemon can query. You can query daemon from the application side. You can get some additional data from a database, but it's like, okay, let's do group bight on the Sphinx side, and then get additional tiny information using primary key from a MySQL.
You also kind of like went over it quickly, but the geo basically does better geo than the MySQL, which has all kind of issues with geo,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
that's another reason you
In terms of search and creating somehow complicated queries with or without full text search, Sphinx is faster. Just because most of the attributes are in memory, and even there's no B-tree indexes on the top of the data in Sphinx. It can do the full scan, but it can do it faster. And it can use several CPU cores. If you split the data in several indexes, it will be like 4 indexes, 4 cores, 4 times faster. So the initial configuration. where to look for the data, how to store it, and how to process it. You can get data from anywhere. You get in data from MySQL like this. Just a simple select. The whole configuration, general configuration, is like this, but this is it. This is data source for Sphinx, and this is how to process it. This is index configuration for Sphinx. You telling Sphinx where to store data, how to process it. It's very basic. You can do whatever you want. All the morphology stuff, all the word transformation stuff. The stop words already there. So it's complicated, kind of. But indexer is simple itself. And this is basically what you do. You run an indexer, which is binary. It connects to the MySQL or Postgres or getting data from the XML file and creates Sphinx index, which is basically a set of files, like this. And then you running daemon, configuring it. To start, there is a internal port, Sphinx API port. First one, second one is a MySQL core protocol port, so you can connect using MySQL client. It will Sphinx will lie to MySQL client about version, so it will just settle down with the basic set of commands. It's not a MySQL. It's not completely MySQL protocol. It's just kind of brain-dead. And you run in search. You run in Sphinx daemon, starting it. It will look enough for indexes, getting up to the memory. And then we're done. So you can connect to the Sphinx using lots of API. You can use MySQL client from Java, from .NET, from whatever you want, from PHP as well, surprisingly. And MariaDB comes with a pre-installed Sphinx storage engine. It doesn't come with Sphinx itself. It just allows you to connect from the MariaDB to the Sphinx directly. So you can run query on the MySQL side, and it will join. It will get data from Sphinx. So it's kind of a combination. So yeah, there's a lot of Sphinx application. Whatever you need to search data, whatever full text or not, this is good one. There's lots of ways to scale it. It is highly scalable. So you can set up proxy, Sphinx proxy, which is called Sphinx master, which will call agents, or it will combine local disk and remote, local index and remote index, so whatever you want. You can basically create distributed index. Dark side, bright side. What is that? Okay. You can basically create several indexes, put them under distributed index umbrella, and then utilize parallel search, this is basically it. So that was crash course. Any questions? I understand it's almost half before 10. But it's morning for me.
Good morning and thank you.
Thanks for coming, thanks for staying here and listening.